Hey Jonathan, today I'm going to show you how to draw kind of the basic shapes of this drawing. I think that's what you struggle with the most, so we're going to do the basic shapes. And to start with, I'm going to draw a line kind of in the middle of my paper, and it's going to be a straight line, really lightly, so that I can erase it. There we go. And so that's going to be the sky, and this is going to be kind of like the grass or the field or whatever. Okay, and so now I'm going to draw my little shed, and probably I'll do it like maybe just a little bit below this line, like maybe right here. Okay. Doesn't really matter how far down, but I think it's around this place. And so then I'm going to take my ruler again, except instead of drawing a line all the way like this, I'm just going to draw maybe from the 4 to the 8, at least on mine, which is about, actually maybe just 3 inches. So, hold on. Okay, kind of like that. And you can make it a little bit longer if you need to. I might make that like a little bit longer. There we go. So now you have this line, you have this line. Now we're going to draw straight up, and it doesn't matter how like long these both are, as long as these two are even. So I'm going to put my ruler up to here, and essentially I'm just going to draw a box. I'll probably go to about right there. I'll do the same thing to the other side. Just make sure that it is about the same. Something like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to connect them at the top to make it into a box. All right, once we have that box, we're gonna erase the line in the middle because this shed is in front of the field, or like it's in the field, so you'll see the background back here, but it'll be empty right there. And then there's kind of like this sort of line sort of near the top where the I don't know, it's like the siding is a little kind of going over the door, so I'm going to draw a line for that top part. And then I'm going to draw the door as well, and I think the door is going to be kind of like from here to here is what it kind of looks like in the picture. So on the door, I'm going to draw a straight up line to right there, and I'm going to do it to the other side too, like that. And there's your kind of door. I haven't done the handle or anything. If you wanted to, you could draw the handle just like this for now, and there's more details later, and you can even add like the sign or whatever, a square, whenever you're ready. But let's go ahead and do the roof. So it actually is not a square roof, it's like a triangular roof, but I just drew it as a rectangle for now. So what you could do is you can start in this corner, and actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a dot somewhere in the middle above, like right here. And it doesn't really exactly matter, but you don't want it to be too high, just kind of like above somewhere, right? Like right there. As long as it's kind of in the middle. And you can take your ruler and line it up like this, and make sure that it is going to touch this corner right here, and then it's lined up to the dot. So I'm going to do that. That was not perfect, but oh well. And I'm going to do it to the other side too. Okay. And now you can erase this line because you don't need it anymore. There you go. So now the roof is like a little more like triangular. And then I'm also going to make sure that these parts right here, I should have actually made them come out a little bit, and they also kind of curve out. So I'm going to just kind of add on to it like that. And I don't really need the ruler for that. I'm just kind of curving it out a little bit. And it's kind of hard to see from your picture. I can't really tell exactly what the roof looks like, but now that we drew kind of like this part, we can draw a little dot on top right there and add in, like, I guess the sides of the top part. And I made them pretty thin. Whoops. Yeah, really thin. that wasn't great, but it's pretty good. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these in to make it look like it's more 3D kind of thing, like as if the roof is going into space. So I'm actually going to make this just kind of go diagonal like that. But it's gonna not go inside of it. It's gonna be like right there. And I'm gonna do the same thing back here. And there you have the basic roof going on. It's not perfect, but that's what we have for now. So that's that first step. And then let's get our clouds in this picture. So they're gonna be kind of over here. And in the picture, it looks like they actually, it almost looks like they're touching the field back here. So I'm actually just gonna do the outline of the clouds. And as I'm looking at the picture, I'm kind of doing this in a way that it almost looks like my hand is shaking a little bit, like I'm doing some kind of shaky sort of movements that are not perfect because these clouds are nice and fluffy and kind of weird. And then at the top of your picture, it looks like it's touching the roof of this shed. So I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna kind of like do those little like puffy shapes that I'm seeing. And it doesn't have to look exactly like the picture either, which is kind of the nice part. And also for the clouds, you could do like maybe one more sort of like puffy cauliflower looking shape. And then we'll fill this in later. Now for the, this kind of like, there's like this little space right here that the concrete is on. And for that, you could, if you wanted to use your ruler again, you could take your ruler and for a straight line kind of, I think it starts like right here and it goes like behind the, it goes behind the shed. So I'm gonna do that on this side. And just do kind of like this straight line. In the picture, it looks a little bit more curved, but I think this looks pretty cool too. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. So now you have your shed, you have your clouds, you have your grass, and now I'm gonna draw the box that is gonna be in the picture. So let me get to that picture really quickly. Okay, so the box is going to be kind of like right here and a lot bigger because I guess our perspective, that's what we're seeing from our perspective. And to draw our box, we're gonna take our ruler again. And also, I guess just, it's up to you how big you want this box to be. I think it looks better if it's like really big because you have all this space down here. So I'm gonna draw mine kind of big. And I'm gonna just draw a straight line like that. Okay, now I'm going to make a V with my ruler, starting from right here. And so I'm going to, let's say I'm starting right there. I'm gonna take my ruler and let's say I'm not sure exactly how big I want it, so I'm gonna draw just like a line, okay? And then I'm gonna draw another line on the other side, going diagonally, right? That looks like a pretty big box. I don't really like how big that is, so I'll just kind of like erase a little bit of it until it's about the size that I want. And that looks pretty good to me for that one side. Same thing on the other side, erase until you're at a place that you feel like that's good enough. And if that's too short, then you can use your ruler and draw it back again. That's why it helps to draw really light, just in case something bad happens. Okay, so, and you're actually gonna do this to the top part too. So actually, I'm going to flip my paper upside down. It looks like an arrow, right? And then I'm gonna draw another V the same way that I did on the first part. So I'm going to make this, all of my angles come from this one place. I'm gonna put my ruler up to it. And the trick is to not have your ruler like way out here. Like try to make it look kind of like this line, I guess, if you can. It's not a big deal if you can't, but just try. Okay, it's a little long, but that's okay. And then do the same thing to the other side. If you can, match it up. If not, it's not a big deal. Okay, not perfect, but that's okay. And then whichever line is shortest, so obviously I kind of messed up on this one a little bit, but whatever one is shortest, that's how big your box is going to be. So you're gonna put your ruler back up to the shortest side. So I think it's that one. That's the one I want to keep. I'm going to line it up straight. Now I'm going to draw a line. And there we go. I'm gonna take off that extra part because I don't need it anymore. And then I'm gonna put my ruler up to this section. And I'm going to draw a straight line. Okay, I don't need that extra section anymore. Now we can flip our paper back over and you can already see that the box is getting there. It's not a perfect square, so that's kind of my mistake, but you can do it a little, like maybe make these a little shorter if you would like to. Now, the hard kind of part is that you have to make this into a V2. So let's maybe take our paper and go like this and take our ruler. And we want this part to be kind of like a little more towards that way. So I'm gonna kind of do it like this. I don't know how often you draw boxes, but okay. We got that. Now we gotta do this side. So we'll kind of flip it like this. Oops. And I'm gonna kind of turn it a little bit like this. Whoops. Once again, not very perfect, but that's okay for now. All right, now we got your basic box going on. And there's some details on the box that we need to draw, right? And also these things are not all gonna be super sharp, but this is just kind of like our, practice sort of thing. The hardest part is trying to get like perfect circles. And the way that I draw I try to get perfect circles is just by drawing the same circle over and over again if I can, or finding something that's circular like a penny, or even sometimes yeah. So I'll just use this one because it's a little bigger. And I will trace it for my circle as best I can. I gotta hold it still though. There you go. So that can be for the first, that first circle. And then this one, we'll put right here. Oops, sorry. Like that. And we need to make the circle a little bit bigger. And so I'm gonna give a little bit of space like this and start drawing the circle. And some parts of it are a little skinnier. So it's gonna start maybe a little bit bigger and then get kind of skinnier right here, but get bigger in other places. I'm just looking at the picture as I'm drawing. Right, and then you have kind of this thing to make it look like 3D. Then draw your little heart. It does not look perfect right now, but that's okay. We got the little, this part. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same thing for the other side, except this heart is kind of smushed because it's like a different perspective, so it looks a little bit different. Sorry, this is not very perfect, but if you can draw this much, then that would be great. And then I can help you more later and change this. Right, and then you got that line going on up there. Yep. And then you need that top one. So I have to kind of make it more, not a circle, but more like an oval sort of thing. And then I add the little button parts. Yeah. Okay. Okay, that's what I got so far. I know that this box has those like blocky parts to it also, but honestly, I would just really like you to get this much done, and then you could start adding details to the door, and you know, like those straight up and down lines for the, I guess for the sides. You could start like scribbling in the clouds, because they're like, some of them are kind of dark, like this. And then as you go up with the clouds, you can go like lighter and lighter and lighter. And you can take your finger and start blending it a little bit to get some of that shadow in there, if you would like to. So you do that for the clouds. And so yeah, I'm just, that would be great if you could get this much done, and then I can give you some more help. All right, good luck.